Hello guys. Guys, do hit the like button if you like the session. Let's start with the current affairs. Question number 1. The knowledge platform MSME Saksham was launched by TransUnion Civil in partnership with which of the following? Guys, some of the current affairs looks like irrelevant or unimportant for you, but I don't want to take a chance. They can ask any type of FIR and link it with the present concept that we are having in our 10 units of paper 1. Most probably the question you can expect of current affairs related to either banking or else we can say income tax and more of marketing related, very less portion will be there, and business environment, international business, you can expect those questions. So don't want to take a chance. Let's complete as much as possible with the important things. Do join into the Telegram group which I pinned in the chat box. So here option number C, SIDBI is the correct answer. In order to support the revival of Indian economy, in order to strengthen the MSME sector mainly, SIDBI is a main body for who is promoting a MSME sector growth. Small Industrial Development Bank of India in association with the TransUnion Civil, that is Credit Information Bureau of India Limited, or the TransUnion Civil Limited, has launched the MSME Saksham. It's a platform which is a comprehensive financial education and knowledge platform for the micro, small and medium enterprises entities. This unique one-stop knowledge and portal that will guide the MSME seeking seamless and quick access to finance. If they wanted to get a loan, they can go to this portal and apply for that financial assistance by because they have already attached with a CIBIL. So the credit rating agencies also will certify them and they will be getting a financial support in order to run their MSME sector. Good morning. DBS Bank have been honored with a global winner of the most innovative in digital banking by Dash in its 2021 Innovation Digital Banking Awards. Guys, do hit the like button. Morning, good strength is there. I didn't expected this one. Nice. Whenever if the exam date didn't came, I don't think this 57 also will be there. Times Now and Forbes, Global Economic Index and Financial Times. So option is the D, Financial Times. Financial Times, the banker has announced that Innovation and Digital Banking Awards. So they have given this one, you can see. Financial Times, right? DBS Bank honored as a global winner of the most innovative digital banking by Financial Times publication, The Banker, in its 2021 Innovation Digital Banking Awards. In its 2021 Digital Banking Awards. What is the name of currency floated by International Monetary Fund whose quota for India has been recently increased? So here special drawing quota has been increased. Name of currency floated by the IMF whose quota of India has been recently increased. India quota of SDR got increased. Hello Shivanshi. A statement by Reserve Bank of India said on Wednesday, IMF has been increased the SDR quota of India from the 12.57 billion which is equivalent of 17.86 billion at a latest exchange rate on August 23. India holds a 2.75 percentage. Please remember this percentage. India holds a 2.75 percentage of the SDR quota. Out of the total, 2.75% is a share of the India and 2.6% of votes in the IMF as on 1st of September 2021. 2.63% of a voting share, 2.75% of a contribution share is there. Special drawing right is on, yes, it is on 13th position actually. Special drawing rights is nothing but basket of currencies of the IMF countries. Top basket of currencies will be there. Like I am contributing to, as a India, we are contributing to IMF means we are having a special drawing right, means that much portion of funding we have contributed to that one, and equivalent voting share also will be. World Bank has suspended Dash report, remittance report, ease of living index, India development update, ease of doing business report. So option D is the correct answer. Ease of doing business. World Bank has dropped or discontinuing the publishing of ease of doing business after an external audit unearthed undue interference of its senior staff changing the rankings of specific countries. So a number of irregularities have been reported regarding the changes due to data in the 2018 index as well as 2020 reports. There is a manipulation is there. Because of that manipulation only, World Bank decided to discontinue this one. And the World Bank had hired American law firm which studied 80,000 documents and used an extensive interviews report on 2018 and 2020. But audit found that China pressurized World Bank top management into and reversing their ranking fall which would have otherwise fallen to 78 to 85. So here also China hand is there in dropping this World Bank ease of doing business index. Itna clever China. Bah, 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 bah. In September 2021, which of the following countries has emerged a UAE's second biggest trading partner? So option B is the correct answer. Why it will be there in the current affairs? Because there is a reason, something connected to India. Even though nothing is mentioned in the question, something is connected to India, that is why it is there in the current affairs. So in the September 2021, which of the following countries have emerged in UAE second biggest trading partner? India is the second biggest trading partner for the UAE. You can see the overall value with that India trade is at 38.5 billion dirhams, and first half of the 2021 trade with India is almost 74.5 year on year to 67.5 billion from the 38 billion in the 2020. Yes, UAE, United Arab Emirates. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission in September 2021. The mission is being implemented in how many union territories in the pilot phase? Pilot means immediate implementation. Pilot projects we can say. Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. So option C is the correct answer. Total 6 union territories have been implementing as per this mission. Prime Minister Narendra Modi would launch Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission on September 27 very recently via video conferencing. It is a nationwide rollout of ABDM coincides with a third anniversary of Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So currently Ayushman Bharat mission is being implemented on a pilot phase with 6 union territories. Total 6. RBI has announced to levy the penalty on banks in the event where ATMs run out of the cash. The scheme shall come into force from which date? Bank in the event where ATMs run out of cash. If the ATM, because this is the biggest problem that every public is facing, ATM and not having money in that ATM. So if the banks doesn't maintain the cash, sufficient cash in the ATMs, then they will be getting a penalty from the October 1st, 2021. Already implementation started. So RBI launched a scheme of penalty for non-replenishment of ATMs, which will come into effect from the October 1st onwards. Already it came into effect. Under the scheme, 10,000 per ATM will be levied if they run out of the cash for more than 10 hours in a month. More than 10 hours in a month, if it is running out of the cash, 10,000 rupees per one ATM, they are going to impose a penalty. Good. Because when we are maintaining a minimum, when we are not maintaining a minimum balance, they are imposing a penalty on the account holder or not? Yes. Now even HDFC is asking minimum 10,000 as a minimum amount to maintain the 10,000 per, look at 10,000 per month, 10,000 per ATM for not having a cash in a month for 10 hours. In total month, if it is exceeding 10 hours without any cash, 10,000 rupees per ATM they are going to impose the penalty per month. It is not per day, I think. Which of these countries have been introduced as the new member country of the new development bank set up by the BRICS nation? Bangladesh, UAE and Uruguay, all of the above. So your option D is the correct answer. All of the above. The new developmental bank on September 2nd, 2021 admitted United Arab Emirates, Uruguay and Bangladesh as its new members, and bank has been set up by all the nations apart from the BRICS bloc. BRICS is a group of countries comprised of 5 major countries, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Apart from this, all the remaining countries have been Uruguay, Emirates, as well as Bangladesh have been entered into United New Development Bank. Bharat Pay has partnered with which bank to launch a point of sale business, Bharat Swipe? So option D is the correct answer. Axis Bank it is. Axis Bank has partnered with a Bharat Pay for the POS business. Bharat Pay named as an Bharat Swipe. Under the partnership, Axis Bank will be acquiring a bank for Bharat Swipe and will provide acceptance of credit and debit card merchant associated with the Bharat Pay 2nd September 2021 onward. The PhonePe has recently received which of these licenses from IRDAI to conduct the insurance business? Reinsurance broker license, corporate agent license, and direct broking license, individual agents license. Option C is the correct answer. Direct broking license from the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India to conduct the insurance business. PhonePe has received. PhonePe is growing like anything. Now PhonePe is a regular activity. Every day we will open this application. Very good application. Service is good. Everything is good and prompt. Receipt and payments are going on. And they have entered into various categories. Now they are in the insurance direct broking license business. License also they have got to conduct the insurance business. RBI allows the lenders to sell fraud loans. Life insurance company, State Bank of India, Monetary Policy Committee, Asset Reconstruction Company. So option D is the correct answer. ARC. Hello Anjali. Asset reconstruction companies, RBI has allowed the lenders or banks to transfer the loans that have been classified as a fraud by the lenders to the asset reconstruction companies. So RBI allowed the lenders or banks to transfer those fraud loans which is cheated, and those fraud loans they can transfer it to asset reconstruction companies. Stress loans that are default for more than 60 days are as NPR permitted to transfer to ARC. If it is becoming NPR more than 60 days also, 60 to 90 days also, SMA 2 account where you can able to transfer to asset reconstruction companies. Those fraud loans or stress loans can be converted by the asset reconstruction companies in a good way. They will try to maximum extent to cover that, recover that. Government has set up asset management company named India Debt Resolution Company Limited, which will work collaboration with the National Asset Reconstruction Company too. Option D is the correct answer, to clean up the bad loans. It is to clean up the bad loans. Government of India has to set up an asset management company AMC named as an India Debt Resolution Company Limited. Can you please spell out the name in the chat box? India Debt Resolution Company Limited, with a paid up capital of 80.5 lakhs and authorized capital of 50 crore. They have established this company as a AMC, which is named as a Debt Resolution Company Limited. And IRDCL will work collaboration with a National Reconstruction Company to clean up the bad loans. Whatever the non-performing asset, the bad loans are there, to clean up, the IRDCL will be working. What is the full form of the IRDCL? Can you please write it down? IRDCL full form is that Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has announced the first ever bad bank, that is National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited. National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited. Government plans to set up India Debt Resolution Company as well. And here the full form of the India Debt Resolution Company Limited. India Debt Resolution Company Limited. IDRCL actually it is. India Debt Resolution Company Limited. Next, National Single Window System is launched by which ministry? IDRCL, not IRDCL. National Single Window System is launched by which ministry? Home Affairs, Education, Union Minister, External Affairs. Yes, it is IDRCL. Option C is the correct answer, Union Minister. What Union? Union Minister for what? Wait, bhai. Something I made khichdi over here. Ministry of Commerce and Industry. National Single Window System for the investors. Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal has launched the National Single Window System for the investors and business. It will be a portal acting like a one-stop solution for the investors or entrepreneur to get the approvals and clearance that needed. And with this, the time will not be much wasted and time will be saved over here. It will give the freedom from the legacy of running the government offices for the approval, and wherever the investor needed or entrepreneur and the businesses needed approval, they can just log in into this portal and make application, instant approvals they can get it. Total 18 central departments and 9 states it's been implemented. Yes, Piyush Goyal is for that only, commerce and industry, but just wanted to confirm. That's why I said. Dash conduct open market purchase of the government securities under the GSAP 2.0. RBI, IMF, World Bank, UNFCCC. So option A, RBI, because whenever the government securities means RBI only will do that activity, because bankers, it is a government bank, banker to the government. RBI will conduct the open market purchase of the government securities under the GSEC acquisition scheme, Government Securities Acquisition Program, GSAP 2.0, for aggregate amount of 15,000 crore. They wanted to bring it by way of this open market purchase of the government securities. RBI will also sell the government securities under the open market under the OMO, which is a selective method, aggregate of 15,000 crores on the same day. RBI is eligible, has eligible participant to submit their bids and offer an electronic format on the RBI core banking resolution e-Kuber system. e-Kuber is a system which is working under the RBI only. Via that only this bidding process is going to happen. Which government will set up an e-commerce regulatory body to monitor the sector properly? Indian government, USA government, Germany government, Bangladesh government. Option D is the correct answer. Bangladesh, not India. Okay. Every time India will not be there. Na? Sometimes like NTA, India also will give dhamki to us. Bangladesh government will set up an e-commerce regulatory body to monitor the sector properly, to improvise the e-commerce and to monitor them how it is performing and what will be the measures to be taken. So like that separate regulatory body has been established by the Bangladesh government. A step has been taken after the major e-commerce company of Bangladesh allegedly cheated the customer with hundreds of crores. So something has to happen to bring this much stringent mechanism as a regulatory body. Other proposals includes the formation of central complaint management cell, mandatory registration, actions against the schemers, as well as amending the Digital Security Act and Money Laundering Prevention Act. Next, which ministry became a 9th member of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO? Which country became 9th member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization? Most important international business related question. Point to be noted. Option D is the correct answer, Iran. Iran is the 9th member Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Iran. So Shanghai Cooperation Organization leaders have agreed to change the membership of Islamic Republic of Iran from the observer state to full member state. So till now it was in the observer position, now it is changed to full member position. After this, Iran will become 9th. Till now 8th member countries of SCO is there. Now the 9th country it is. Holding observer status for the past 15 years, it was an observer state only, observer country only in Iran. Now it became a member, and technical and legal process could take 2 years to conclude. Full members of SCO include China, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, India, Pakistan. All Kistans are there as a total 8 members. Now Iran got added into this list. Total it is 9 members now. Headquartered of SCO is located at Beijing, China. What is the rank of India in Global Innovation Index 2021? 46th, 68 and 45th and 50. I think I have told about this innovation index in the marketing management sessions. Logistic index as well as innovation index as well as performance index, ease of doing business index, all the index at one place. It can be either 46 or 68, but let's see. 46, correct. So India has been ranked at the 46th place of Global Innovation Index out of the total 132 economies. India is standing at 48th position. Lower 48 or sorry. Previously in the last year 48th position was there. Now increased by 2 ranks. That is 46th place we are we are placing Global Innovation Index 2021. Under the lower middle income category group, India has been ranked at the 2nd spot after Vietnam. Under the lower middle income category group, India is ranked number 2 after the Vietnam ranked number 1. Released by the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO will be releasing this innovation index. Top performers are Switzerland, Sweden, US, UK, Republic of Korea. As per the latest global trade outlook issued by the UK Department of International Trade, India will become world dash importer by 2050. Dash importer. First largest importer, second largest, third largest, fifth largest. Option C is the correct answer. Third largest importer by the 2050 year. Expectation it is. Latest global trade outlook issued by the UK Department of International Trade. India became a third largest. India will become the third largest importer by the 2050. So almost with a share of 5.9 global imports will be right behind the China and US. And at present, India ranked the 8th global largest importing nation with a 2.8 importing shares, 2.8 percentage. Now it will increase to, by the 2050 year, third rank it will be achieved with a 5.9 percentage. Cabinet approves how much FDI under the automatic route in telecom sector. This index is like one of the type of influence. Array, you are going to become top 3, you are going to become top 3, top 3, top 3. So that like it is like influence only. Cabinet approves how much FDI under the automatic route. 100% have been allowed now. Cabinet approved a total 100% of foreign direct investment under the automatic route. So government has, Union Cabinet has increased FDI of telecom sector. Total 100% automatic route have been announced. And the government approved a 9 structural and 5 process reform in telecom sector. They are definition of adjusted gross revenue has been changed and now all telecom revenue will be removed from the AGR. Monthly compounding of interest on spectrum usage charge replaced by the annual compounding. Instead of monthly compounding, now the annual compounding with a less rate of interest based on the formula of MCLR plus 2%. MCLR plus 2% instead of monthly, now it is going to be on annual basis. DAS releases All India Debt and Investment Survey. So option D is the correct answer. NSO, that is National Statistics Office. Statistical Office, NSO. That is Department of Statistical Department is there. In that National Statistical Office has released All India Debt and Investment Survey. In this number of indebted households, it has been risen sharply. Rural India with average debt shooting up of 84% between the 2012 and 2018. COVID-19 has likely further doubled the household borrowings by 2021. Increase double means they wanted to get, they want money. So for that only household has increased their loans from the various financial institutions and the others also. Rural households average of debt grew from 32.522 in 2012 to 59,748 by the June 2018. Now the urban household average increased to 42% in the same period, little more than 1.2 lakhs. These numbers are not necessary, but remember that National Statistical Office released this survey, and on that doubling of the all household borrowings in the 2021. That is the one you need to remember. Which bank launches first FASTag based metro parking facility? Option A is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Paytm Payment Bank. Paytm Payment Bank launched India's first FASTag based metro parking facility. In partnership with the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation DMRC, Paytm Payment Bank PPB. It will facilitate a processing of all FASTag based transaction for the cars having a FASTag sticker, eliminating the hassle of stopping and paying the cash at the counter. So it enables the UPI based payment for the two-wheelers entering a parking site through the car owners will no longer be required to tender the cash, and parking is free for additional who are coming with a car. The vehicles will be there now, vehicles with a car. If anybody is coming for the two-wheelers, it will be for a free parking. Who chairs a 13th BRICS Summit? Nirmala Sitharaman, Amit Shah, Narendra Modi, Dharmendra Pradhan. Option C is the correct one. Narendra Modi is the correct answer. So from India, Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi virtually chaired the 13th BRICS Summit. So theme for BRICS is at 15 is that intra-BRICS, cooperation for continuity, consolidation and consensus. Can you please spell out by intra-BRICS, cooperation for continuity, consolidation, consensus. Apart from this, India has highlighted 4 priority areas: reform of multilateral system, counter-terrorism cooperation, using digital and technological tools to achieve the sustainable development goals, enhancing the P2P, peer-to-peer exchange. So BRICS countries are Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. 4 priority areas have been identified or highlighted by the India in the summit, which is announced by the Prime Minister Modi in the 13th BRICS Summit. Which bank launches India Banking Reform Bob World? BOB World. I think name itself is having. Name itself, BOB World. Name itself is giving answer for this question. BOB, Bank of Baroda. That will be the one. So they'll keep their name only, na? Bank of Baroda has launched its digital banking platform for the BOB World to provide all the banking services under one roof, BOB World. Pilot test of this platform began on 23rd of August, and it will cover more than 220 services, all inclusive seamless virtual banking experience. MD and CEO of the Bank of Baroda is that Sanjeev Chadha and headquartered at Vadodara. Central Board of Direct Taxes set up how many boards for advance ruling to tax disputes? Option A, 3. CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, constituted 3 boards for advance rulings to ensure that faster disposal of the cases. Like in the everybody going for income tax tribunal, instead of having that one, separate 3 boards got established to dispose the cases as early as possible. And bars have been made operational from the September 1, 2021. Boards for advanced rulings have been operational. Out of the 3 bars, 2 have been set up in Delhi and Mumbai, and each bar consists of 2 members, each being an officer not below the rank of Chief Commissioner. It will replace the Authority for Advanced Ruling. AAR previously got formed. Now the BAR will be replacing this AAR. Advanced ruling for a bar shall not be binding in nature. They may give the judgment and they may give everything, but it is not binding. They can go for the appeal also. Government appoints a 10 merchant banker for managing the IPO of SIDBI, SEBI, LIC mutual funds. IPO of LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India. Government of India has appointed 10 merchant bankers managing initial public offer for Life Insurance Corporation of India, which is likely to be launched in the January-March quarter 2022. Role of merchant banker in case of IPO is to issue management, promotional activities, credit syndication, project counseling, portfolio management, etc. So name of these merchant bankers will be Goldman Sachs and Citigroup India, SBI Capital Market, ICICI Securities. There are various others, 6 also there, merchant bankers. But as of now, these are the one which is acting like a merchant banker for the LIC IPO, initial public offer. Which bank provides with NSIC to provide the credit support to MSME sector? Which bank partner with the NSIC, National Small Industries Corporation? Option C, D is the correct answer. That is, it's a second session. HDFC Bank has been partnered or memorandum of understanding with a National Small Industries Corporation for providing a credit support to MSME sector. HDFC Bank, all bank branches will extend the support to MSME projects in the areas that they are located and to important industrial sector as well. Next, CBDT amends IT rule to ease the authentication of collection of a tax, electronic records, income tax returns, none of the above. It's for the, hello Rachit. Option B is the correct answer for the electronic records. CBDT amended income tax rules to ease the authentication of the electronic records submitted in the faceless assessment proceedings. Electronic records submitted through registered account of a taxpayers shall be deemed to have been authenticated by the e-verification code by the taxpayer. So it will ease the process of authentication where just a OTP, with a OTP and Aadhaar identification only we can able to complete the entire the verification process electronically. So option C is the correct answer. Gujarat government signs a memorandum of understanding with Amazon India. So Gujarat government signed an MOU with Amazon India to boost up the export of MSME sector for seeking local products of Gujarat to global outside countries also we are exporting. It will facilitate a training session, webinars, workshop in business to business e-commerce at MSME clusters in cities like Ahmedabad, Vadodara, Surat and Bharuch, Rajkot. In these places they have clusters. So with this only they are going to do the export operations, and Gujarat government signed an MOU with Amazon India for this purpose. It will open up the link with Amazon digital market operation in 17 countries like USA, Canada and Brazil. Dash gets in principal approval from the SEBI to start the mutual fund business. Zerodha, Amazon, Google, LIC. So option A is the correct answer. Zerodha is a stock broking company usually, which is India's largest stock broking company. One of the good broking company. It has received a principal approval to set up the asset management company. So when they establish this AMC asset management company, they can do the operations of a mutual fund under the SEBI. They have got a notice of decision for a mutual fund from the SEBI, who is a regulator. And with this, discount brokerage joins entities like a Samco Securities and Bajaj Finserv to get a market regulator SEBI notice of decision for the mutual fund. So once they have got Zerodha got this one, and other entities also started applying for the mutual funds to the SEBI. LIC picks up nearly how much stake in Bank of India through open market transaction? Option D is the given answer, that is 4% stake. LIC picks up a nearly 4% stake in the Bank of India through open market operation transaction, not 10%. So LIC picked up a 4% in the Bank of India through open market operation, which is one of the qualitative method to control the supply of money. And before the latest acquisition of shares of bank, LIC held over 3.17 stake in the state-owned bank. LIC stake in Bank of India now increased to 7.5 with this additional 4%. So with this QIP, government shareholding in the bank has come down to 82.50 from 90 to 90.3 now, because LIC is holding 7.05 altogether. What is the rank of India recently published foreign exchange reserve data? Third largest, first largest, fourth largest and second largest. So answer is C, that is fourth largest. In the recently published foreign exchange reserve data, India will become a fourth largest. India foreign exchange reserves arose by the $835 million, touched a record of high 612.73 billion in the week ended July 16, 2021. RBI data showed Friday, according to the weekly data from RBI, forex to rise. India helped by rising the foreign currency, major component of overall years. And with this, it is achieved the fourth largest country with the foreign exchange reserves. Currently, China is the largest reserves, followed by the Japan. First China, later Japan, after that Switzerland. Now India is on fourth. China, Japan, Switzerland, India. Total 4. Actually, it was fourth. Russia was there. Now India has ranked up above the Russia. The Insolvency Bankruptcy Amendment Ordinance 2021 is an amendment to what? Option A is the correct answer, that is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. 2016 is a original IBC. So whatever the amendment has been taken place with the ordinance of 2021, that is made it to 2016 original IBC only. So the code actually on the April 4th, 2021, it amended Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. So it's a situation where individual or companies are unable to repay their outstanding debt. This is a time-bound process for resolving an insolvency of corporate debtor within 330 days, called as a Corporate Insolvency Resolution Process, CIRP. Corporate Insolvency Resolution Process. The debtor himself or its creditor may apply for the initiation of CIRP in the event of default for at least 1 lakh rupees. For at least 1 lakh rupee, but not more than 1 crore. But not means 1 lakh to 1 crore. If the amount is involved in this creditor or debtor for the repayment, if If you have done a default of more than 1 lakh to 1 crore, then you can apply for that CI, Corporate Insolvency Resolution process, where the IBC will take the initiation. Retail direct scheme announced by which bank? State Bank of India, Reserve Bank of India, HDFC, Axis Bank. So retail direct scheme B, Reserve Bank of India, that is RBI. Retail direct scheme. So recently RBI announced the retail direct scheme in February 2021. RBI proposed to allow the retail investor to open a gilt accounts with a central bank to invest in the government securities, that is G-Secs. Recently, government securities in G-Secs. National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited, yesterday, is name coined for defaulters, mutual funds, life insurance corporation, bad banks. So option D is the correct answer. Yesterday related question it is. Yesterday one question was there now where IDRCL as well as NARCL, that is National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited, is formed very recently for the bad bank who are having a non-performing asset for that dispute resolution purpose, and to recover that one you can transfer the bad loans or a non-performing asset to the particular this NARCL so that they can taken care to make into a good banks. It is coined for the bad banks, announced in that budget 2021-22, expected to operate it in the June month. So this is an bad bank refers to a financial institution. It takes over the bad asset of the lenders, where the banks non-performing assets will be more than 60 days, more than 60 days, up to 90 days also can be comes under here. The new entity is being created in collaboration with the both public and private sector. Indian Bank Association CEO Sunil Mehta has been told to the Press Trust of India. Various preparatory work is going on, and we hope that it should be operational in the next month. That is, from the June itself it came into effect. Udyam is a new enterprise registration portal for. Option B is the correct answer. MSME sector. It's a registration portal. Udyam is a new registration portal declared by the Ministry of MSME for the businesses. So as per the Government of India notification, there will be no fees or application cost for filing of Udyam registration. Only Aadhaar number, GST, PAN, self-declaration is enough for Udyam registration to register as a MSME sector based entity. RTGS NEFT payment systems as per the RBI is now opened for the retail system, non-banks, scheduled banks, commercial banks. So option number B is the correct answer, non-banks. RTGS and NEFT payments are opened for a non-bank in phases. Non-banks also it is opened. So RBI stated it has allowed non-banks to participate in a centralized payment system CPS through real-time gross settlement RTGS, and national electronic fund transfer in a phased manner. Slowly, step by step manner, non-banks also will be coming into the RTGS and NEFT mode. Which country become the first country to adopt the India's unified payment interface? India's UPI accepted by this particular country. Bhutan, China, Singapore, Malaysia. Pakka China will not be there. 100%. Correct now? Answer is A, that is of Bhutan. In the June 13, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has launched the BHIM UPI services in Bhutan via virtual press conference. With this launch, Bhutan becomes the first country to adopt India's UPI. Because in India, many we have adopted already, we are using also on daily basis. But that unified payment system of India technology has been adopted by the Bhutan. Second country after the Singapore to have the BHIM UPI acceptance at a merchant location. Next. The Government of India extended the duration of Stand Up India scheme up to which year? And by another one more important point is that this one, foreign trade policy 2021-26 from the September it got extended to next January or March if I am not wrong. So Stand Up India scheme up to which year? Option C, by the 2025, till the 2025, Government of India extended the Stand Up India scheme up to a year 2025. So the scheme was launched by the Prime Minister on 2016 5th April. It was for the loans to SC, ST and women borrowers for promoting entrepreneurship and self-employment programs. So this Stand Up India scheme has been increased their time of duration to 2025 as well. Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation Bill 2021 covers regional rural bank, cooperative banks, banks under the moratorium. So option D is the correct answer. Moratorium means those who are having in the interest waiver period. Recently, Union Cabinet has declared that DICGC Bill 2021 cleared the failure of the banks such as the Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative PMC, Yes Bank, Lakshmi Vilas Bank reignited the debate on lower level of insurance against the deposit holders. Because when the banks are getting failure and they are going for winding up, who are the ultimate loss? Who are having ultimate damage? The damage is rested with the deposit holders. So their deposits have been not secured or been not even insured also in this type of banks. That is why they wanted to cover this DICGC insurance facility to regional rural bank as well as cooperative banks and what is other banks under the moratorium also they wanted to provide. Prompt corrective action. According to the new norms, independent director can be appointed through a annual general meeting, special resolution. Option D is the correct answer, special resolution. That is, previously we used to have now independent director appointment. SEBI has approved a stricter norms for the appointment of independent director, decided to introduce a framework for accredited. So it's a statutory body in accordance with the provisions of SEBI 1992 it got established. So for promoting the investor security and interest and regulatory body for the securities market. Independent director appointed only by the special resolution passed by the shareholders. Minimum 75% favor has to be passed against it. And the regulator has also elaborated and sent in a disclosure requirement for the skills required to be an independent auditor. The skills of the independent auditor also mentioned, as well as the special resolution is also been amended. The Taxation Laws Amendment Bill 2021 amends the Income Tax Act, Finance Act, Companies Act, both A and B. That is of option number D, both A and B. Income Tax Act 1961 as well as Finance Act 2012. Taxation Amendment Bill 2021 introduced in the Lok Sabha by the Ministry of Finance, Nirmala Sitharamanji. So the bill amends the Income Tax Act 1961 as well as Finance Act 2012. 2012 Act had amended to impose a tax liability on the income and on the sale of shares of foreign currency on a retrospective basis. That was applicable from the on or before May 28, 2012. Now bill proposes to nullify this retrospective basis for the taxation because retrospective is a wrong basis for the taxation purpose. They wanted to remove that one. Because of that only this bill came into picture. Cash has announced a sovereign gold bond scheme 2021-22. RBI, Government of India, Security Exchange Board of India, mutual funds. So RBI has announced a sovereign gold bond scheme 2021-22. RBI has announced a sovereign gold bond scheme 2021-22. Sovereign gold bond 21-22 will be open for the subscription of 5 days from the August 30 to September 3. RBI announced the sovereign gold bonds series 6. This will be open for a subscription of 5 days. Reserve Bank of India has empaneled private lender DCB Bank as an agency bank to facilitate the banking and payment transaction for. Option B is the correct answer, that is central and state government. RBI empaneled the private sector DCB Bank as an agency bank to facilitate the payment transaction for the central and state government. If this DCB Bank will become the agency bank to do that activity. And the transaction would include a revenue receipt, CBDT, CBIC, and GST, pension payment, small saving. For all these transaction purpose, the RBI has given to one private sector bank called as an DCB bank. Finance Minister launches Ubarte Sitare scheme for export oriented. Ubarte Sitare scheme for export oriented. Option B, MSME. Finance Minister Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman has launched a Ubarte Sitare scheme to help MSME which could future champions with a good export potential, and announced in the financial year 2021 because the pandemic implementation got delayed. Some developed countries like Germany have already tried this fund. That is why India got adopted this fund to make a difference in the champion sector called as an MSME. The objective of the Cryptocurrency Bill 2021 is to create enabling the framework for official digital currency to be issued by. Option C is the correct answer, that is Reserve Bank of India. Again RBI, because so many questions related to RBI. Cryptocurrency Bill 2021 is to create enabling the framework for official digital currency to be issued by the RBI. So remember, this is looks like important because cryptocurrency separate bill has been launched. It is not available in a public domain, but it is understood with the objective of bill is to create enabling the framework of digital currency which is to be issued by the RBI, and to prohibit all the private cryptocurrencies available in India. Only RBI approved cryptocurrency is going to be issued as per this bill, which will be available very soon. Which state or a union territory announced a microfinance incentive and relief scheme? Puducherry, Sikkim, Assam, Telangana. Option C is the correct answer, Assam. Assam government signed a MOU with a 37 microfinance lenders for the implementation of Assam Microfinance Incentive and Relief Scheme, AMFIRS scheme 2021. It will be providing a financial relief to the microfinance borrowers in Assam to help them continue maintaining a good credit discipline in the COVID-19 times. This will provide incentive to the clients who are regular in repayment and help the overdue clients become regular. Next, which organization has collaborated with Invest in India to support the startups in the country? Collaborated Invest in India to support the startups in the country. Microsoft is the one. Microsoft India has collaborated with the Invest in India to support the tech startups in the country. Apart from the partnership, Microsoft for a Startups program will work closely for accelerating the growth New India Innovation, Agni Mission. Accelerating growth of New India Innovation, Agni Mission, a program of Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor of the Government of India. So it will help in startups becoming enterprise ready with all the investment supports they will be giving. Microsoft India has collaborated to invest the tech startups in India. Which bank has signed an MOU with a NABARD, Jammu and Kashmir Grameen Bank for joint liability group financing? D is the correct answer, that is State Bank of India. State Bank of India, NABARD and Jammu Kashmir Grameen Bank for the joint liability of a group financing is that is SBI. NABARD and SBI and Jammu Kashmir Grameen Bank has signed 3 members joint liability group financing. Main objective of the signing this is to flow of credit to the tenants. To increase the flow of credit to the tenants are the overall lessees, share croppers and mutual funds, etc. And who are at times not to have a proper title to their land holding. The JLG formation will meet the credit requirement who are suffering from the migration in the wake of 2019 COVID pandemic situation. Last 2 questions of the day. In which state or a union territory world first biobank in Ayurveda is going to set up? World Biobank in Ayurveda is going to set up. Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Goa, New Delhi. So option number D is the correct answer, that is New Delhi. Union Ayush Minister Sarbananda Sonowal recently announced the world first World first biobank Ayurveda is going to set up in All India Institute of Ayurveda, New Delhi. So this All India Institute of Ayurveda is a medicine, pure medicine, Ayurvedic medicine and research institute located at Delhi, founded in the year 2015. Last 50 question, final half century part, 45 minutes. Recently, which organization has upgraded a credit outlook of India to increase the positive? CRISIL ratings, CARE ratings, TransUnion Civil, Moody Investors Service. CRISIL rating upgraded the credit. Option A is the correct answer. That is CRISIL rating. It is a broad-based recovery India increase currently, and earlier India INC's credit was cautiously optimistic. According to the CRISIL, credit ratio, number of upgrades to downgrades increased to over the 2.5 times of the first 4 months. So CRISIL also conducted a 43 sector study, excluding the financial sector, that accounting 75% of the overall 36 lakhs crore outstanding debt which is there. Okay, CRISIL rating has been. Which multilateral association recently held a conference on biodiversity? This is paper 1, paper 2 mixed up one. Which multilateral association held a conference on biodiversity? That is of C. ASEAN is a association which held a conference on biodiversity. ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations, conference on biodiversity held recently, and the fifth and final session of the conference focused on the theme of towards 2050 living in harmony with the nature. Please spell out the same in the chat box. Towards 2050 living in harmony with the nature, which is conducted by the ASEAN and biodiversity conference held recently. As per this, developing countries will need resources for the proper implementation of the post 2020 global biodiversity framework. The ASEAN includes a total 10 countries with respect to this organization, that is Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam. Whether India is a member of this ASEAN, India is not a member of this nation, ASEAN. So India is not been part of this conference also. Next, which member country of the BRICS proposed the STI-led BRICS Innovation Cooperation Action Plan? Option C is the correct answer. C, that is India. So which member country of a BRICS proposed STI-led BRICS Innovation Cooperation Action Plan? So that is Science and Technology Innovation. STI is in the sense science and technology. Led BRICS Innovation Cooperation Plan Action Plan have been proposed by the India only during the 12th meeting of the BRICS Science and Technology Meeting Committee hosted by the Department of Science and Technology. All the BRICS countries agreed to the Science and Technology Innovation led action plan. It enables the sharing of experience of each other's innovation. Like I will give my country's innovation to your country, and I will get to know about your country innovation. I will tell you about my country innovation. Like that, exchanging of innovation and science and technology will happen. Sharing of minds and sharing of a resources, not sharing of a resource, it is sharing of a like innovations, ideas that will develop the country to equip towards the innovation as well as research and development. As per the GST law, for how many years? Acha, you are telling to Shalini. Okay. As per the GST law, for how many years states were guaranteed to be compensated for loss of revenue in GST implementation? As per the GST law, for how many years states were guaranteed to be compensated for the loss of the GST implementation? So this is 5 years. 5 years it is, for a period of 5 years from the July 2014 or July 2017. It is applicable from the 1st of July 2017 plus 5 years. Government borrowed and released 75,000 crores to the states and union territories to compensate them for a shortfall in the GST revenue. And here this is an addition to a normal GST compensation being released for every 2 months out of the actual cess collection. So this aims to meet the resource gap due to a short release of a compensation. What is the FDI limit permitted under the automatic route for the renewable energy projects? 25%, 49%, 74%, 100%. So option D is the correct answer, 100%. I think this looks like completed, but slightly a different question. But let me check with that also. If the duplicated is there, I will remove one question. Government has permitted for the FDI, FDI up to 100% under the automatic route. So renewable energy projects, including offshore and energy projects. Union Minister for the Power and New Renewable Energy, R.K. Singh, recently replied in Lok Sabha at the government notified National Offshore Wind Energy Policy 2015 to provide a basic framework for developing offshore wind sector. The government also enabled private sector to carry out the offshore wind resource assessment. As of March 31, 2021, what was the worth of a total non-performing assets of the banks in India? Automatic means without the approval of the government, where you can straight away enter without approval of the government. Direct route in the sense you have to take the approval of the government. So option C is the correct answer, 8.34 lakhs. 8.34 lakh crore total non-performing assets are there as on 31st March 2021. So are the bad loans of the bank 8.34 lakhs, and these are gross loans and advance outstanding of a scheduled commercial bank to Rouse to 113.99 lakh crores as on 31st March 2021. NPA is declined 61,000. Now it is 8.96. Okay. Previously on 2020 it was there. Total outstanding was there, but out of that NPA declared is that 8.34 lakhs only. Total loans are 113.99, but out of that NPA declared as 8.34. Factoring Regulation Amendment Bill 2020 is expected to improve the availability to credit to the which sector? Most important, by Factoring Regulation Amendment Bill 2020. Option B is the correct answer, that is MSME sector only. You know, whatever the credit facility or borrowing related amendments or else initiations are coming, maximum questions are related to MSME. Small and medium, like micro and small medium enterprises, all are related to that only it is coming. So this is also related to that. Here the parliament this week passed a law to Factoring Regulation 2020 bill, which is Factoring Regulation Act 2011. So factoring is an arrangement where the business sells receivables to the other agent to collect it and get it for a commission. So here, what are the benefits of a new law? When the financial institutions such as NBFCs are willing to assume the risk of collecting a pending receivable, it leads to greater choice for the businessman in the MSME sector. So the new law is expected to improve the availability of credit of MSME sector, since the more non-banking financial companies will now eligible to lend it to the MSME sector by way of this process, by keeping that factoring as a base, and they will be releasing more of the loans. The buyer who purchases the receivables from the business later collect the cash from the party that owes those bills, means from the agent only directly bank will be collecting to compensate the loan. So for instance, many of the MSME owners may not want to receive the payments, may not be willing to sell their receivables at discount. The risk associated with the collecting receivables can prevent those who are risk averse for entering into a MSME space at all. Means for those people who wanted to get immediate funding and those who wanted to get the loan from the MSME for the sake of MSME sector, but they don't have assets, the debtors bills which is given to the factor will be taken as a base, and on that you will be getting a loan. The Insurance Amendment Bill again allows a foreign investor to hold up to what percentage of capital in the Indian insurance company, which must be owned and controlled by the Indian entity. Now telecom sector over, renewable energy over, now it is of related to insurance sector. How much? 49%, 50%, 185%. It is of 49%. It is of 49%. Insurance Amendment Bill 2020-21 introduced in Rajya Sabha by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman on 2021 March 15 has introduced and amended this act, Insurance Act 1938. It's an amendment. So where the act provides a framework for the functioning of insurance business and regulate the relationship between the insurer and the policy holder. So here under the IRDA only it will be working. The bill seeks to increase the maximum foreign investment allowed in the Indian insurance sector. Maximum matlab 49% have been allowed over here. So Foreign Investment Act hold up to 49% of the capital in Indian insurance company must be owned and controlled by the Indian entity. Means remaining 51% must be owned by the Indian entity only. It should not be given to the foreign entity. So bill increase the limit of foreign investment in an insurance company from 49 to 74 and removing, oh wait. Yes, it's 74%. Wait, then I have to change this question. How it can be a? It must be 74, na then. Answer has to be 74%. 49 previously, now with this bill it increased to 49 to 74%. 74 FDI in insurance, what means policyholder Indian companies and promoters. Previously it was 49%, now it increased to 74%. Please make a correction. It's my error, I think. 74% is correct. Dash is a top recipient state during the financial year 2021 with 37% of the FDI equity inflows. Yes, Abhishek. I need to keep the 49 to make the mistake, right? So Gujarat is a correct answer. That is Gujarat is a top recipient of state during the financial year 2021. 37% of the FDI inflows are there into Gujarat only, because he will bring always to Gujarat only everything. Other states are not important, not much. 37% of the share of the FDI equity inflows, followed by Maharashtra. Gujarat is standing at number 1, later Maharashtra 27%, Karnataka 13%. It is from the officials of government only. According to scheme for a penalty, non-replenishment of ATMs. ATM where cash is out of more than dash hours in a month, penalty of dash. This is completed already, but I have done in a different way. Now it is different. There the question I given in different way. Here the question is different, but important affair it is. 10 hours, 10,000. It is option C. RBI announced a launch of scheme of penalty non-replenishment ATMs with effect from the 1st of October 2021, where the ATMs are going out of the cash for a more than 10 hours in a month, then they are liable for the 10,000 penalty per month, per ATM per month. Identify the correct statement in the context of e-rupee launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently. E-rupee, electronic. It's a cashless, contactless instrument for the digital payment. Users will be liable to redeem the voucher without a card or an app or internet banking access. Option C is the correct answer. Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi has launched a person and purpose specific digital payment solution which is named as an e-rupee. From the 2nd of August, in the video conferencing 2nd of August, he introduced this one. It's a cashless, contactless instrument for the digital payment. It's a digital payment. And it is a QR code for the SMS string based e-voucher. Users will be able to redeem the voucher without any type of internet accessibility or the card or any app. It has been developed by the National Payment Corporation of India along with the Department of Financial Services under the Ministry of Health and National Health Authority. Is it developed by Ministry of Health and National Authority? Yes, it is. It is by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and National Health Authority. Correct. SIDBI had launched an app-based digital lending platform called as a Digital Prayas to sanction the loans to entrepreneurs from bad banks, foreign investors, corporate sector, low-income group. SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India. So option D, because small industries is for the low-income groups only. It is SIDBI launched an app-based digital lending platform called as a Digital Prayas to sanction the loans to who are entrepreneurs, low income groups. Loan will be sanctioned at the end of the day, and SIDBI tied up with a big basket. There is to cater the needs of aspiring youth in urban areas and will onboard a big basket delivery partners and provides a loan at affordable interest rate for the purchase of environment friendly e-bikes, e-vans. Those loans can be provided to become an entrepreneur. Dash India in a partnership with online lending platform IndieFi has launched Facebook, Twitter, Microsoft, Amazon. Which big basket? This is there na grocery supermarket wala. So option A is the correct answer. Facebook it is. Facebook in India and India is partnership with an online lending platform called as an INDIFI, INDIFI, has launched a small business loan initiative in India, and it is the first country where the Facebook is rolling out this program. Aim is to help a small and medium business to advertise on Facebook to get quick access credit or loans through independent lending partners. This will make the business loans more easily accessible for a small business and which will be reducing a credit gap within the India MSME sector. Digital payment from Paytm has launched. Sorry, digital payment platform Paytm has launched a postpaid mini, a small ticket loan that will give a users flexibility to access a loan ranging from dash to dash. Postpaid mini. So option number B is the correct answer. 250 to 1000 rupees. Rupees 250 to 1000 rupees. Postpaid mini. One initiative is being small ticket loan that will give the flexibility to access 250 rupees to 1000 rupees. This is also loan. It was launched by the partnership with Aditya Birla Finance Limited, 250 rupees to 1000 rupees. The product is an extension of it's buy now, pay later service. Buy now, pay later service. That loan will be same. It's an extension of that facility only. Driving affordability among us the new to audit. And with this Paytm postpaid offering for a period of 30 days for repayment of a loan, 0%. Next, national monetization pipeline consists of a 4-year pipeline of the centers, foreign portfolio investment, foreign direct investment, greenfield infrastructure asset, brownfield infrastructure. Option number D is the correct answer. It's a brownfield. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will has been launched a national monetization pipeline in the New Delhi, and it will list out the center infrastructure which will sold out over the next 4 years. Total whatever the infrastructure that central government is having, which will be selling for the next 4 years. And this 4-year pipeline of the central is a brownfield infrastructure assets only. And it will be, brownfield means already started one. Greenfield means from the scratch. Brownfield is already established one that will be sold it to the private entities and they will be getting amount. It will be a medium term roadmap for the center asset monetization initiative to pull up the funds from various type of activities. As part of that only this will be selling to other. National monetization pipeline will book released on the occasion. Next, Life Insurance Corporation has launched a new health insurance plan titled as an Arogya Rakshak, Arogya Setu, Arogya Jeevan, none of the above. So that is Arogya Rakshak. LIC launched a new health insurance plan titled as an Arogya Rakshak. It is not a non-linked, non-participating regular premium individual health insurance plan. It will provide a fixed insurance cover against the certified specific health risk, provides a timely support in case of medical emergencies also. It will be available for the principal insurers and spouses and parents up to 80 years and children up to 25 years. Children up to 25 years. RBI has imposed restrictions on Dash Private Limited for adding a new domestic customers that will affect from the 22nd July 2021. Industrial sector, private bank, MasterCard Asia are a specific Pacific and commercial sector. That is option number C is the correct answer. MasterCard Asia Pacific Private Limited adding a new domestic customer with effect from 22nd July 2021. RBI put a restriction on these cards. Almost it is not allowed. MasterCard will not be allowed to add the customer for a debit and credit or a prepaid into its network as an entity. So it is failed to comply with the directions of on the storage payment system data of a circular 2018 April given by the RBI. That is why RBI has banned or restricted this entity. Union Cabinet has approved an increase in DA to a central government employees and dearness relief to a pensioner to dash from existing. So dearness allowance increased by the central government. DA, new DA is that 28% from the existing 17%. Option A is the correct answer. Total increase to 28%, existing one was 17. So this is Union Cabinet approval for the central government employees only. This will be applicable. The increased DA and the DR rates will be applicable from 1st of July 2021. It made it applicable. The hike represents almost 11%. From the 28 to 17 means it is 11% got increased, which is of the basic pay or the basic pension. And they were put on hold from the January 2020 because of the COVID-19 only. Now they have given with a good percent, 11% hike announced. RBI has increased the incentive for the distribution of the coins over the counter from 25 rupees per bag to rupees dash of coin with effect from September 2021. Option B is the correct answer, that is RBI increased the incentive for the distribution of coins over the counter from 25 per bag to 65 per bag of a coin with effect from the September 2021. It will provide incentive to the banks and currency chest under the currency distribution and exchange scheme for the distribution of coins over the counter to promote the circulation of the coins. If you distribute the more coins, the incentive for one bag of currency coins is that 65 rupees now per one bag they are going to get, and additional 10 rupees per bag will be there as an incentive would be paid for coin distribution in rural and semi-urban areas. If it is urban areas, 65 rupees per bag you are going to get it, the more you promote the coin. Dash has received an insurance broking license from the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. Bheem, Google Pay, Paytm, RTGS. Option C is the correct answer, Paytm. Paytm. In the 2020 only Paytm got it by. But in the 2021, PhonePe it is, which is Walmart owned company, owned initiative called as an PhonePe. PhonePe it is. 2021 PhonePe, 2020 Paytm. Okay, in the 2021 PhonePe got the insurance broking license, direct broking license. PhonePe can now distribute insurance product for all the insurance companies on its platform. So next, BharatPe ties up with a which bank on point of sale service? HDFC, SIDBI, SBI, Axis. Is it getting repeated? It is Axis Bank. BharatPe announced, and this is already completed by Bharat Swipe, already done. Association, I think one was there called as an HDFC point of sale. That is also there. SEBI announced a detailed guideline for product labeling in Dash, mutual fund, insurance and banking sector, MSME. So option A is the correct answer, mutual fund. SBI announced a mutual fund detailed guideline for the labeling of the mutual fund. Earlier, 5 categories to measure the level of risk in mutual fund. Now, which is a regulator of SEBI, introduced a one more category. That is total 6 categories. To measure the level of a risk in mutual fund, SEBI is having a 6 type of categories, which is effect from the January 2021. Very high risk category got added. The Supreme Court warned that authorities have no choice, however, to represent the GST. It is appellate tribunal. GST appellate tribunal is there, GST 80. So Supreme Court warned that authorities have no choice, however, to represent the GST appellate tribunal. 4 years after the GST law passed in 2016, GST tribunal not yet has been established. So GST appellate tribunal second appeal forum for any dissatisfaction of the orders passed by the first appellate authority under the GST authority. The National Appellate Tribunal is additionally first common forum to resolve the disputes between the center and states. So a common forum called as a GST Appellate Tribunal has to be established, but till now it didn't got established. That is why Supreme Court want to establish that Appellate Tribunal separately. Identify the correct statement in the context of LLP Amendment Bill 2020-21. The bill converts a certain offences into a civil defaults. It also defines a small LLP and establishment of a special courts. So option D is the correct answer, all of the above. Here, bill is converting certain offences into a civil offences. You can look at like LLP Amendment Bill introduced the Rajya Sabha, and it is an alternate corporate body of a traditional partnership firm. Under this bill, converting certain offences into a criminal offence to civil offences, and changes in the nature of punishment of this offence also made. And it is clearly defined what is called as a small LLP also. It provides appointment for certain adjudicating officers and establishment of a special courts also had got a power with this amendment. Certain offences discriminalized. So you can look at Providing violating these requirements will be punishable with a fine of ranging from 2,000 rupees to 5 lakh rupees. These requirements includes changes in the partnership of LLP and change of registered office, filing of a statement of account, solvency, annual return, arrangement between the LLP and the creditors and partners, reconstruction, amalgamation, LLP. So all these, if you are doing any type of changes within, if you are violating the requirement which required to be changed, you will be getting a penalty of 2,000 rupees and 5 lakh also. And here you can also see adjudicating officer. Under the bill, central government may be appoint adjudicating officer for awarding a penalties under this act, and this will be a central government officer not below the rank of registrar will be appointing over here. Non-compliance order of the tribunal. Under this act, non-compliance order of National Company Law Tribunal, if you are not following, then up to 6 months and fine of 50,000 will be there. And now the bill has removed this, whatever the provision is there, it got repealed out because of this. Small LLP having a contribution up to 25 lakh, an increase by the government maximum 5 crores and turnover 40 lakhs. Turnover 40 lakhs. LLP having contribution up to 25 lakh, maximum can be minimum 25 lakh, maximum can be a 5 crore, and turnover up to 40 lakhs immediately preceding financial year, then it can be treated as a small LLP. Two criteria. IMPS limit increase from 2 lakhs to rupees. So 5 lakhs, immediate payment service IMPS, from the 2 lakh limit to 5 lakh it got increased. For transaction limit from 2 lakh to 5 lakh it got increased. Which institution publishes Global Financial Stability Report semi-annually? So that is IMF, International Monetary Fund, Global Financial Stability Report semi-annual publication by the IMF, which gives a detailed review of the stability of global financial markets. So IMF dedicated exclusive chapter to cryptocurrency in the report which is given. Under this mentions rapid growth of crypto ecosystem presents a new opportunities at the same time, and it has cautioned about the financial stability challenges as well. After the RBI October Monetary Policy Committee meeting, what is the repo rate? So option C is the correct answer, 4%. RBI monetary policy kept the key lending rate, repo rate unchanged, same as it is given, 4% for the 8th time in a row. So reverse repo rate is also unchanged, that is 3.5%. Policy remains changed and which is unchanged at accommodative. Simply whatever the new changes were not there, exact whatever is old, same as it is, they have kept it. Which rating agency has changed India's sovereign or rating outlook negative to stable? CRISIL, S&P, Moody's and Fitch. So option C is the correct answer, Moody's. Here Moody's recently changed the Indian sovereign rating outlook from negative to stable. It has highlighted India downside risk from negative feedback between the real economy and financial system are disappearing. Now the agency has also affirmed that country foreign currency, local currency are getting increased. Day by the performance is getting increased, so that they have changed it to stable position from the negative to stable. So that's all about the current affairs. Total 77 current affairs we have discussed in the 3 sessions, which will be fruitful, as well as total all the almost important areas I covered. Still I do agree that there are important areas which can be left over. And upcoming this month current affairs also, which is September and October 5th, October entire current affairs also required to study. So for that, what I will do, when the exam date sheet got declared, whenever the commerce exam happened, before that 2 dates, I will discuss those current affairs within one session. Maximum 30 current affairs can be there, so that 30 will be discussed separately in single session before the 2 days of examination. Right, what you need to do to attend the free live session at Unacademy, just download the Unacademy Learning App, or else go through with the website of unacademy.com and select NTA UGC NET category and set examination. So if you select that one, you complete the sign up process with a Gmail and mobile number. Search my name Vodnala Shivlingam, or else the link is available in the description, my profile link and my Telegram link also available. Please do join into the Telegram commerce@UGCnet. Search in the Telegram as commerce@UGCnet, or else link is pinned in the chat box and also in the description it is available. Click on follow button in my profile section of Unacademy. Later go to the special classes. There you can see all the upcoming classes in the 12 PM today, 5:30, 7 PM also showing. Just click on those one, click on notify, and it will ask you the invite code Shiva Live, enter it and attend the live session. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Please do hit the like button and do not forget to subscribe to this channel, Kamas Adda. It's my own channel only. Do subscribe. We'll be having a more